Binyamin diagnostics. So,
Yeah.
so how can you tell if it's a pa'al, nifal, piel, hifil, hiphil, right? Now, why worry about this? Well, because once you move on from here and you read something like Exodus 12, you'll read, this is the law of Passover. Every son of a foreigner shall not eat of it. Lo plus yitol shall not. Lo yochal lebo shall not eat of it. And then you read a couple verses, and then you have, in one house, ye'achel. What word is that? It won't be footnoted, but it looks different than yochal, doesn't it?
I got some.
Okay. It is from a chal. Well, it's related. It's not ha'al. What binyan is this? Does anybody know? It's not a flashcard word, but it won't be footnoted. This is the nifal word. In one house it shall be eaten. So, you need to know that that is a nifal and not a pa'al. That's why we're doing this. Remember, we've done 5 binyanim. There are 7. I haven't taught you the passive of the piel is the pu'al, and I haven't taught you the passive of the hifil, which is the hofal. I'll have a slide on the last day of class. They're just so infrequent, and they never, there's not a single pu'al verb in Jonah, not a single hofal word in Jonah. So I say, this isn't first year material. So, I'm not going to talk about if this is a pa'al verb or not, how to tell, because most words are pa'al, and that's what we spend the most time on. And a pa'al verb in the katal sounds like katal. Yashav, halach. That's why it's named that. Pa'al verbs in the yikol, for the most part, sound like yikol. Okay, so piel verbs. Bikesh is our model verb. Hu bikesh. Right now, hu mevakesh. Yikol, hu yevakesh. And infinitive, imperative, it's just bakesh. How do you form an infinitive imperative? Just hack off the yod prefix of the yikol. Yevakesh, bakesh. Bakesh. Hifil, again, this is nothing new. Hu ishlich. Hu, right now, mashlich. Hu yashlich. Here you have a difference between the infinitive and the imperative. Infinitive is hashlich. Just replace the yod prefix with the hey. Yashlich, hashlich. But then there's a vowel reduction for the imperative. Ata, hashlech. But you get the yod back if you say hashlichi or hashlichu ateh. Nifal. Nilcha. Participle is pronounced the same. The difference is the difference between patach in the katal and kametz in the participle. The vowel lengthens in the participle. Yikdol, yilachem. So in the yikdol, the nifal always has a nun prefix. It has the 3 root letters, and then it has a nun prefix. In the yikdol, the nun has assimilated into the lamed. That's why there's a dagesh. It's a dagesh chazak, because before that is a vowel. So what's the double letter mean? It means an assimilated nun from the nifal. Yilachem. And then how do you form infinitive imperative? You just replace the yod with a hey. Yilachem. Once again, you have dagesh and the lamed. That's from the assimilated nun. Yilachem. Now, if that word, if this letter were a guttural, aleph, ayin, hey, chet, or resh, it would reject the dagesh of the assimilated nun, and this would lengthen to its area, 2 dots, which is what happened with the verb that I introduced you to. Let's go on, hipile. Hipile, super easy to recognize because these words are so long. Hitalech, Mitalech, yitalech, hitalech. The only tricky thing is if you see hitalech, it could be one of three forms. It could be he walked, it could be walk, or it could mean to walk. Context will have to decide. All right, this is a little scary, but yeah. I know, I was going to say when I put in the chart, I couldn't like make them smaller, so they're also big and a bit pixelated. So let's say you have something in the participle. What does all participle sound like? Sounds like holech or yodea. O-A vowel pattern. O-A vowel pattern. Everything else adds something. Usually it's a mem. So the PL is mevakesh, hifil is mashlich. The way that you can know whether or not this word is a PL or a hifil is what's the letter underneath the mem. PL has the schwa, the hifil has a patach. How do you know that? Because I don't have you memorize participle. I have you memorize the yiktel. And look, it's identical. Yevakesh, u yevakesh. The PL has the schwa. The hifil has the patach. Yashlich. Now, the participle for the nifal is actually, it begins just like the katal. The only way you can tell these apart, again, is what I said, the second vowel. Nilcham, nilcham. Is the ah, is it the patach? Short vowel, if so, then that's the katal. If it's a long vowel, then it's a participle. Now, here was the form that I showed you. So I said, what form is this? This is a nifal yiktel form. Look at the nifal yiktel, how it begins. Yod chirik dagesh kametz. The chirik dagesh kametz is a very unique feature of how nifal verbs start in the yiktel and infinitive imperative. Chirik dagesh kametz, you know, whether or not the prefix is a yod, if it's the ani form, it would be a lachem, could be an aleph, could be a tav, could be a nun, right? So it doesn't really matter what the prefix is, but the vowel pattern here, dagesh kametz, is a distinctive feature of the nifal. Here, it's sere, no dagesh, but you have kametz. Because remember, this is from the gutturals, aleph, ayin, he, chet, and resh, that all reject the dagesh chazak. So this lengthens. So these are the kind of diagnostics of how a verb begins. So this is just me capturing the verb chart of how the verb begins. Because understanding those diagnostics of how a verb begins, you could identify this. You see these three letters. This has to be the root letters. You know the verb achad yochad, but this isn't yochad, it's ye'ached. What is that? It's the nifal, to be eaten. Talking about the Passover, it shall be eaten.
Do you see this as kind of a blind spot in TPR where you have to add in these kinds of, because I feel like this is, very traditional. know, this is what you'd expect from a normal Hebrew class to be able to learn this. I mean, I think that this is so important, but how can, like, is TPR mainly supposed to be like just an introductory format to a language, or can you get to a place where you're understanding stuff like this without having to do a graph like this?
Right. I think you can. I think the best diagnostic is, it just to have certain to have a model verb memorized in each of the binyanim, and to say, this verb sounds like that verb, which I know is a hifil. This must be a hifil. Like you have nir'ah yera'eh memorized, right? Nir'ah yera'eh to appear. Nir'ah yera'eh. Have that verb memorized. Yera'eh, ye'achel. And you say, oh, ye'achel sounds to me like yera'eh. So yes, this chart is very traditional. The traditional way is memorize verbs as root letters, memorize charts, and then learn to be able to go root letters to charts and charts to root letters. What I've trained you to try to do is I want you to think of words. And I want you to be able to hear a word, read a word, and like that, know the meaning. Now that takes a lot of repetition and encountering them. I don't want you to have to spend a minute or two on every single form, breaking it apart and putting it back together. I want you to be able to recognize it.
There's a question to that though. When we're reading in Jonah and we encounter a verb form that perhaps has a yod in front, or whether it's yet or whatever, and we say, I don't know what that verb is, but that yod has taken the place of the first consonant. If we're not memorizing the root letters, how do we find it? Because I feel like the idea of learning words is great as long as you definitely know 100% of the vocabulary words that we have used. But inevitably, there's stuff that didn't stick.
Right. Well, thankfully, the readers will footnote that word for you. If you don't have the word memorized, they'll footnote it for you. But one is to be able to recognize that. Right? And you know whole classes of verbs that lose their first root letter, especially in Gittel.
But there's no way to find it. That's what I struggle with, is wanting to learn what it is, but not really being able to find it because you have to be able to look it up in the dictionary by its consonant. So, I mean, is there a way to figure out a word like that?
Yeah.
Memorize it.
No, that'll be another. I think next week actually.
Okay.
I do have a lecture planned here, but let's go on now. Let's review these ones.
Can we get a copy of what you just did?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just,
I'll send it out.
Is it possible, can you give us is it possible to put them in the printable handout? You know how you give us the lectures? Can you transpose those to a black and white, like a typical chart for a lecture rather than, I don't know if you can do that. If you can, then I can print it out. Otherwise I can go to this.
Yeah, I can easily export my lectures as PDFs, which I have done, and I believe I've sent you all week by week. But to be able to do it as like a nice chart, like a small chart on a page, and not each slide take the whole page, especially since I have black background, it's not conducive for printing out, because you're going to spend a whole ton of money. So unfortunately, no. And I'm, at this point in the semester, very strapped for time.
Yeah.
And so, let's go on. Okay, chatar yachtor means to dig. What binyan do you think this is? Oh. Yaksha, Ana, please. Nefesh, nefasho, soul, life. Dam, blood. Naki, blameless. Za'af, yiz'af. What binyan do you think this is? katal, you see all the root letters. In the yikdal, you're going to lose that mem. It's going to assimilate as a dagesh. Neder means vow. Mina yemane. What binyan do you think this is? It's a PL. 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 It's like, yeah, bikash, yavakesh, but it's a third yod verb. So what's the third yod verb? Gila yegale, mina yemane, gila yegale, or kila yechale. It's exactly like that, a third yod verb. It means to appoint. This does not have a Paul related word.
Just when we look at the present tense, some of them start with like the bear, need the bear. Do all of the present tense start with need the bear, or the men, or no? And are those
I'll send, yeah, it's on a slide in the chart, I think, the lecture that you missed.
You mean just now?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I have-
so,
I have
yeah.
One in the air and one at public issue, so I can. Well, no, never mind that.
Dagim, this is fish. Bala, yivla. What binyan is this? Pa'al. Kicks and giggles. It's pa'al. It's like shama yishma.
Is it?
Yeah. Me'im. Here's one. Hekid yakid. Ifyo, exactly. Yep. And this is like hevi yavi. It's a second vav word. Sheni, second. And kriya, message. Dover, which I said this is the Paul participle. All right. Let's do a story. Right. So, relax, enjoy. Whereas I said last week was not conducive to TPR, this is a fantastic TPR story. All right. Ready?
Right.
Ha'anashim chatru lehashiv et ha'oniyah el hayabasha. Miriam, lama ha'anashim chodrim?
הם חותרים להשיב את האונייה אל היבשה.
הם חתרו להשיב אל היבשה, והם לא יכלו, כי הים הולך וסוער עליהם. והאנשים קראו אל אדוני, והם אמרו, והם אמרו, אנא אדוני, אל נא נודע בנפש האיש הזה. עוד פעם. אנא אדוני, אל נא נודע בנפש האיש הזה. Nefesh being used as life. בנפש האיש הזה. והאנשים נשאו את יונה, והם הטילו אותו אל הים. והים עמד abo. Hayam, haya zo'er. Oh, he zo'er. Hayam amad means abo. Ve'ha'anashim yar'u et Adonai vehem zavhu zebach l'Adonai vehem nadru nedarim. Ma ha'anashim nadru?
Nedarim hem nadru.
Hem nadru neder echad o nedarim rabim?
Nedarim rabim.
Hem nadru nedarim. V'Adonai mina dag gadol. Dag gadol livloa et Yonah. Miriam, lama mina Adonai. Oh, ma mina Adonai.
Adonai mina et hadag livloa et Yonah.
Hadag haya kadol o gadol?
Hadag haya gadol. Gadol me ha'omim.
Lama mina Adonai et hadag hagadol.
Livloa et Yonah.
Lord.
Livloa.
Ve'Yonah haya v'im'e hadag shlosha yamim u shlosha leilot. Miriam, Eifo haya Yonah?
Hu haya bim'e hadag.
Kama yamim haya Yonah bim'e hadag?
Shlosha yamim.
Kama leilot haya Yonah bim'e hadag?
Shlosha leilot. Laila, leilot.
Ve'Yonah hitpalel el Adonai mim'e hadag. V'Adonai amar ladag. Lemi amar Adonai? Adonai amar leYonah? Lo, lemi amar Adonai?
Hu amar ladag.
Ladag amar
Adonai amar el hadag.
Ve'hadag heki et Yonah el hayabasha. Miriam, me asa hadag?
Hu heki.
Ma heki hadag?
Hu heki Yonah.
Oh, Ana heki hadag et Yonah.
El hayabasha.
Ve'hadag heki et Yonah el hayabasha. Udavar Adonai haya el Yonah shemit pa'am shemit lemor kum lech el ninve ha'ir ha'gedolah ukara el ninve et ha kri'ah, asher anochi dover elecha. Hold on. Ukara, kara el nimle, et hakri'ah, asher anochi dover elecha. Akets. All right, while Marissa's putting some stuff away, let's see. So you guys have to leave early, so unfortunately we can't have you in this story. Noach, Ata Yonah. Yoel, Ata Adonai. Hamalachim, Yuval, Baruch, Yoshiahu. Dag Gadol. Micha, that's Chagit. Oh, Ketzia. Dag Hagadol.
There we go.
Rivka, Ruth, Miriam, Aten, Hasa'ar Hagadol, Anshe Nive. Because there's so you're the part where the sea stops from its raging, and then Adonai, and then when God says go to Nineveh. So, Anshe Nive, Chomna, Nive Shah. Haonia, Ifo Haonia.
Wait, we're rolling it.
Do we want to
Can you push your chairs to the very edge?
I think we want Annabelle over there.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, the ship is coming.
Do we want this to be ship at all? Because they can throw them over.
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
That's why they had so.
No, Yesh Lecha. Beard is Zakan. It's related to Zakan. Yeah.
Makes sense.
What is a Zakan without a Zakan? Fortunately, I'll never be Zakan because I cannot grow a Zakan. So, Hayabasha. And then, Joel, you can stand by Hadag Hagadol. Yonah, Baonia. Miriam, you're with them.
Okay.
So first, you'll be the C. Anshe Nive, Bona.
Where should we hide our swords?
Oh, you can have it over there. You can just place it on the table.
Okay.
Is that locked?
Should we
Hello.
either one on each side?
You want,
One on
like,
each side?
Yeah, one on each side.
okay. I'm gonna do, yeah.
Yeah, not this one? Should we try to do both?
We can have fishy be on one and not.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a couple too, unless you want me to do the sun and star.
Lila.
Yeah, you can have both.
No.
You can, I think you can do both. So you can first do this. You can just do one side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold it down again. All
Okay,
right.
that sounds good.
Ready? Let's just read through it. האנשים חתרו להשיב אל היבשה. זאת היבשה. יבשה, מים, הים, האונייה. הם חתרו להשיב את האונייה אל היבשה. והם לא יכלו. הם לא יכלו, כי הים הולך וסוער. So for this one, you want to start off. We want to see the bill. So yes, עוד פעם. כי הים הולך וסוער. So והם אמרו, אתם השלוש, אתם אמרו אל אדוני, and then you have to get out of your knees. Because they just found out that it's Jonah. Ana Adonai. Ana Adonai. Alna Novda Benefesh Ha'ish Hazeh. So the Alna Novda Benefesh, this is one of those where ba means because. The preposition ba means because. Don't let us die because of the life Hanefesh Ha'ish Hazeh. And then there's more that I didn't do last time. There's more that you say. Ve'al titen. This is Natan titen. Al titen. Aleinu. Dam naki. Because if Jonah is actually innocent and they kill him, like, don't punish us. Hagora lot amru shehu Hashem.
So give us innocent blood, or?
So so literally it's don't give on us innocent blood, which is like, don't require his innocent blood on our heads.
Okay.
Yeah, like the people, they say, at what point in the Old Testament do they say, let their blood be on our heads?
Well, this New Testament, when he says, may the blood be on your children, and your children's children.
Yeah. If you don't obey the covenant. And they're like, bring it on, something like that.
Yeah.
So this is al titen aleinu. So if he is actually innocent and we kill him, don't require his blood from us, basically. Al titen aleinu dam naki. Ki ata Adonai. Ka'asher chafatzta. Asita. So even as you've desired, you've done. You've done what you wanted. What exactly that means and why they're saying it is something to think about. That's a lot of text. Okay? So let's do it again. Ana Adonai. Alna Novda. Benefesh Ha'ish Hazeh. Ve'al titen. Aleinu dam naki. Ka'asher ata Adonai. Ka'asher chafatzta. Asita. Ve'ha'anashim Sehu et Yonah.
I don't really actually pick them up.
Have to work out amongst yourselves. Yeah. You do have to pick them up and you do have to throw him.
Create some counter positions.
I did actually think of that because I'm like, what if they had like arms and feet like 1, 2.
You can have them go out of the frame and then cut it, and then another frame is just falling. You want another? What's that? That's very good.
Maybe without actually doing it this time, although decide amongst yourselves. Such a great TPR story. I'm excited for what you will do. Anashim hem nasbu et Yonah vehem etilu el hayam. And then, so we still need hayam because then the hayam amad.
Oh, yeah.
So only now, only after he gets it.
I'm gonna get out of the way, but you guys can
Yeah.
stay there.
So-
Sounds good.
The minute he lands, we'll go from, to this.
Yeah, so the hayam amad mizapo.
So should we be here the whole time?
I think so, yeah. And then you leave
Okay.
to go over there. So now,
Stand.
Yeah.
Stand still.
yeah.
Ahmad, what's the next word?
Mizapo. Zoef.
Stood angry.
It stood from its angering.
From its anger.
Mean.
Okay.
Mean.
Yep.
Zapo. So, and
There we
then
go.
Vadonai mina dag gadol livloa et Yonah. And then Miriam.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's right. What about the sacrifice?
You're really blowing.
Oh, wait, yeah, wait, you're right, actually, vehayam amad mizapo, and then it's you guys, actually. So, yeah. Vehayam amad mizapo. Ve'ha'anashim yaru yir'ah gedolah. If someone wants to crawl into the fetal position and suck his thumb, that's also good.
That's Yoshia.
So if you want to crawl into the fetal position,
You gotta look really hard, really scared.
really scared. Ve'ha'anashim yaru yir'ah gedolah et Adonai. Okay, now you get up. Ve'hem zavchu.
I'll just say, you like that. I smell it. You can light it on fire.
Hem zavchu zevach Ladonai. And so it's all directed towards him. Ladonai. Okay? Vehem nadaru. Nadaru. Right here. Vehem nadaru nedarim. Vadonai mina. This is it. Vadonai mina dag gadol livloa et Yonah. Ve Yonah, and then now you can get on your knees or something because you're about yeah. Ve Yonah haya bim'e hadar שלושה ימים ושלושה לילות. ויונה התפלל אל אדוני. אדוני is over here. התפלל. התפלל אל אדוני. נמאי הדגה. ואדוני אמר לדג. You don't actually say what you do the Amar thing. Dog, heki. Heki. And then, Udavar Adonai. Now you can get up when Adonai comes. You can sit on your butt when Adonai comes to you. Udavar Adonai Hayah Elionah. You should tap on my shoulder.
I know someone's like, God, to wake them up.
Can you not get up? Udavar Adonai Hayah Elionah Shenit Lemor Kum. Kum. Don't kum. Kum. Lech el nin. And then Ninveh is over that.
Lech el Ninveh.
Ha'ir ha'gedolah.
Ha'ir ha'gedolah.
Ukera eleha.
Ukara alecha.
Et ha'kriyah. And then you can give him the scroll.
Et ha'kriyah.
Asher anochi.
Asher anochi.
Dover elecha.
Dover alecha.
All right?
That's good.
So that's.
Should we be over here the whole time? We're kind of in the shot.
Once you're done with this, then I think you should come over here. Yeah, pick up your sword. Yeah. Be pretty far back in the corner.
Yeah, just
There you go.
questions.
All right. Let's start from the beginning.
How about just do it this way so we don't do it?
You.
We'll do it from the point of view of the whale. It's like a documentary.